can turn this into something positive and maybe it'll spread.
He's the most positive person on his job.
Now you're cured.
I feel good.
Good morning and welcome to Positively Milwaukee. We really can't begin the show without addressing the events in Kenosha. It has now been 1 week since Jacob Blake, a black man, was shot by a white police officer. That sparked outrage by protesters and led to violence and even death. Here's Jacob Blake's mother sharing some of her feelings from the past week.
Clearly you can see by now that I have beautiful brown skin, but take a look at your hand, and whatever shade it is beautiful as well.
Amen. Yes.
How dare we hate what we are?
Yeah.
We are humans. God did not make one type of tree or flower or fish or horse or grass or rock. How dare you ask him to make one type of human that looks just like you?
In addition to that, I have great peace. And it allows me to forgive. I've already forgiven, and this forgiveness is not for anybody else, but God and me. And we're supposed to love our neighbors. And if we do that, that will X out all of this madness.
Now, those are powerful words of healing and forgiveness from Jacob Blake's mother, Julia Jackson. Now, I know many of you are feeling angry, sad, hopeless, even fearful, but we do have to remember one thing. We are each other's keeper, and we have to take care of each other and be good to each other. Help the fallen man, lift those whose spirits are down, and be the best person we can be. This is a time to come together, not be divided, and most importantly, be good to one another. And one way to spread goodness is through happiness. And there's an author from West Dallas who literally wrote the book on how to be joyful. He shares his tools for staying a happy man. From mixing a fun drink during the pandemic.
My friend Pat and I were talking about quarantini drinks and what to make during this time that we're all shut in.
To his battle with coronavirus.
Welcome to my video called How I Beat Coronavirus in 4 Words.
To snapshots of his life.
We're up here, Wisconsin State Fair, my favorite place, on the Sky Glider.
You could call Neil Panosian the medicine man for those searching for happiness.
When you're happy, you're more likely to make positive actions towards your diet, towards your exercise and physical routine, and you're more productive at work.
Panosian is the author of the book, A Happy Life for Busy People, Powerful Secrets to Get You There Quickly and Easily. So how did this journey begin?
The seeds of it started in adversity.
Panosian admits he hit rock bottom.
I found myself in a situation where I lost my job. The relationships in my life were less than fulfilling, to put it eloquently, and the bills were coming in. I found myself in a position that was very close to rock bottom.
He recalls another time in 2013 when it took all the strength he had to stay positive.
Cold rain, and a gentleman was crossing the street that I was going on. The gentleman pulled out and stopped right in front of me. He got scared because the road had a lot of rain. He was a young teenage driver, and I ended up getting to see his car close up via going through my own windshield.
Still, Neil looked for the upside of that horrible accident. Panosian recalls searching the library for motivation.
I began to ask myself, why isn't there a simple book for the average person to create stress reduction and life fulfillment?
So he penned his own book. He says it gives regular folks cheap, easy solutions to a stress-free life.
90% of the tools inside there are under $5 and take 2 to 5 minutes a day to institute in your life and yet create a dramatic positive transformation.
So you basically just want people to understand that there are steps you can take to feel good and be joyous and happy.
Absolutely.
Panosian warns a happy life does not mean there will not be bad days. It's all in how you respond.
We're all going to feel stressed. We're all going to feel down at times. My work is to make sure that the frequency and the intensity of that is less. you can feel down, just don't live there.
And he believes working on your mental outlook is a never-ending process, not just when times are rough.
I always tell people the time to learn to swim is on the shore, not when the boat is sinking.
Neil, as an aside, I can't swim at all. So I don't go to boats.
Eliminate your exposure. That's a good idea.
One of his favorite suggestions in his book?
I try to write down 3 things I'm grateful for every day and why. The why is what makes it compelling.
Panosian has a YouTube channel and a happiness blog with more than 25,000 followers from 150 countries.
It not only gets input from people across different races and cultures and belief systems, but it also reaffirms that even though we have all these differences, the main problems that we face in the world are very similar. No matter where you live, no matter what you believe, no matter the color of your skin or your sexuality.
Amazingly, Panosian does this on the side. He has a full-time job at the post office. He's also a life coach and gives talks to companies and groups.
If you want to set your life up to win, I think there are 3 very important things you can do easily. And that is to have something to be grateful for every morning, something to look forward to every morning, and something to inspire you every morning.
And after 22 years of pursuing his passion of positivity and happiness, Neil Panosian admits his learning never stops.
I still consider myself a student. I love learning every day, and the more that I learn, the more that I can help others, and that's my driving motivation to keep doing this. When you change your mindset, you change your life for the better.
Absolutely. And Neil says throughout his motivational career, he is very proud that 3 different people have told him his message saved their life. Neil's website and Facebook page are Secret to an Amazing Life. Now, 2 is the number 2. We have a link to that on our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group. A Milwaukee woman missing for 4 days until 2 strangers found her and reunited her with family. Adriana Mendez was there as the family sat down with their new angel.
Bessie Bowie went missing on August 5th, and for days her family searched for her and prayed for her to be returned safely. Well, their prayers were answered here at Kern Park in the form of 2 caring women. 80-year-old Bessie Bowie has a family who loves her deeply.
My mom is the world. She's always been there for us.
And so when she went missing, the world stopped for her loved ones. For 4 days, her family searched and worried about her. But in their hearts, they believed God would step in.
I immediately started praying for a safe return.
The family says their miracle came in the form of 2 angels, Cassandra Varner and Michaela Castle, 2 women who happened to be at Kern Park.
And that particular day, the girls wanted to go to the park. And Kayla asked what park we going to. I said, we're going to Kern Park.
That's when they spotted Bessie, who was confused, and they felt compelled to stay with her.
And I told her, we're not leaving her at this park. Whatever it is, we're not leaving her here.
Started asking her, basic questions like, what is your name? And, where is home?
The 2 ladies eventually Googled Miss Bessie and found a silver alert was issued for her.
I know somebody looking for her. There's no way she out here by herself and no one's looking for her.
And I called 911 and I said, we found a missing person and she wants to go home.
When we got the news that she was found, all the pain was gone. It was just like we got Mom's back.
The family says these 2 women are their angels, and they cannot thank them enough for bringing their beloved mother back home safely. And although they are not related by blood, they are all family now.
Changed our life by saving our mom.
Can't thank the Lord enough for just putting me in that situation.
She's safe and she's sound and she's where she's supposed to be is the biggest blessing of my life.
And Cassandra wants to stress she does not think she is an angel or a hero. She says she was just simply doing the Lord's work.
Thank you, Adriana. And we are so glad Miss Bessie is now safe and home with loved ones. A Milwaukee rapper is changing the way children learn classic stories. James Groh explains.
The way kids listen to classic stories won't ever be the same. Milwaukee rapper Wes Tank is straight changing up the game.
Welcome to Story Raps. Today, we'll be rapping the story of Goldilocks and the 3 little bears.
Tried the big bowl and it was too high. Tried the little bowl and it was not. Tried the middle bowl and she said, oh, yo.
Wes Tank and his producer Kurt Ravenwood are throwing their own spin on traditional fairy tales.
Making a story that was written pre-1924 relevant today. That's my favorite part.
They create these music videos to blend classic hip-hop and classic literature together for kids. In the beginning of August, they announced a partnership with streaming service Cadoodle TV to make their own show.
We're just blown away to be their first original show.
It's kind of like Netflix, but for kids shows. And during the coronavirus pandemic, having safe and kid-friendly programming is so important for parents. If you're wondering why Wes looks familiar, he started doing something along these lines at the beginning of the pandemic.
Fox and Socks by Dr. Seuss.
Fox socks, box knocks, knocks in box and fox and socks.
He got millions of YouTube views for rapping Dr. Seuss books to Dr. Dre beats. That's when Cadoodle TV took notice, and now he's got his own show. Yo, Story Raps is free on Cadoodle TV, and he's already raking up the views. In Milwaukee, James Grow, TMJ4 News.
James, you're just too cool for us. Thank you very much. Well, do you love historical homes? We have one that might be for you, and it's for sale. And students take to the streets in honor of our veterans. You are watching Positively Milwaukee. Welcome back. Giving us a reason to smile this morning, some ROTC students from St. Norbert College just finished a 140-mile walk to honor servicemen and women. The students began in Green Bay and they walked the long stretch to Milwaukee's Vietnam Veterans Memorial. It took them 6 days. This annual event helps veterans and military members who've just returned from deployment.
These guys that come home from deployments, they've obviously seen some pretty horrific stuff. And they have that whole brotherhood overseas, and they come here, and it's not exactly the same, on the home front. So it's our goal to try and provide that for them and raise funds for that.
Monies raised goes to the organization Helping Out Our American Heroes Wisconsin. Way to go, students. A ribbon cutting at Mitchell International Airport. Now, this marked the opening of the Gallery of Flight and a USO Lounge. The gallery is free and open to the public. However, the USO Lounge is a place for military members and their families who are traveling through Milwaukee. And on a personal note, I remember the USO always being there for my family while my dad served in the Air Force many years ago. And giving us another reason to smile, these giant sunflowers grown in a home garden in Milwaukee. Now, some of these are over 15 feet tall. Now, in one picture, you can actually see a person standing on a ladder, and the sunflower still towers over them. And in another photo, there's a little girl who's standing next to the huge blooms, and she looks so adorable. Can barely see her. We want to thank Casey and her family for sending us these beautiful photos. They're so much fun to watch. One of Milwaukee's oldest homes is now on the market. Digital reporter James Grow is back with a look inside.
Hey everybody, welcome to TMJ4 Cribs. This is not my crib, but it is actually one of the oldest in Milwaukee. Let's check it out.
It is the oldest standing Cream City brick home in Milwaukee County. It was built in 1846.
However, the house was built in different years depending on who you ask. The city's tax assessments date this house at 8447 West Lisbon Avenue back to 1836, but listing realtor Austin Deere said that was wrong. On the other hand, the Wisconsin Historical Society dates it to the early 1850s. Regardless, it's old.
This home is on the market for $214,900.
It just hit the market Tuesday morning. While renovations have been made over the past 150 years or so, it still has lots of original features dating back to the mid-1800s.
All this coating is the original wood. You can see where the axe was used to cut down the tree or the piece of wood. And the China hutch is also original.
All right, so that's it for the tour. You like it? Well, you better act fast. There's already 5 scheduled showings. The open house is Sunday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they're gonna start reviewing offers pretty soon after that.
Okay, wow. And now at last check, the home appears to be for sale, but we'll keep you posted. Coming up next, we're going to meet some fearless firefighters while they spent 2 days bicycling halfway across Wisconsin. Welcome back. More than a dozen Milwaukee firefighters recently rode their bicycles 183 miles, all for a fellow firefighter who gave her life to save others. A setting sun marked the end of more than 180 miles of bike riding for the first ever Pedal for the Brave.
We have people joining us that have never cycled before 2 months ago. And for them to do a 100-mile ride in one day is just a testament to the kind of grit and will that they have.
Joe Flick, 12 firefighters, and some civilian friends rode from Milwaukee to Wisconsin Rapids, the site of the Wisconsin State Firefighters and EMS Memorial. It's a trip that would take a little over 2 hours by car, but it took 2 days for the cyclists.
As you said, put in the extra mile and come up to Rapids with us. And we may have all gotten more than we bargained for.
Money raised from the ride will set up a scholarship in honor of a Milwaukee Fire lieutenant.
Lieutenant Kristen Zaganek, who passed away in December of 2017 and ultimately led to us forming Ignite the Spirit. And that's going to be used to set up a scholarship in her name to help support women entering the fire service.
A pedal for the brave and those embarking on a lifetime of service. And they're going to do Pedal for the Brave again next year. If you're interested, you can check out the Ignite the Spirit Facebook page. How wonderful. And you might recall Joe Flick was our Community Hero Award winner last year at our Positively Milwaukee Awards. We've been highlighting winners because we want you to nominate someone this year. That may be somebody like Dale Williams. He won our Inspiring Veteran Award. Here's his story.
Dell's legacy to Milwaukee is about creating generational change.
My uncle is also the uncle of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's that person you can look up to, that person that's readily available and accessible while still making sure that he's responsible in the advice that he provides.
I think one of the greatest feelings for me now is that Dale Williams get recognized for the great things he did for the city of Milwaukee and our young people.
He served in the military, but then he also made it a point to continue that service to our community.
Dell means something to so many people. And I want him to know that and feel that and look back and he himself be proud.
My name is Dale Williams. I am the Vice President of the Board of Directors for the Milwaukee Running Rebels Community Organization.
Here at Running Rebels, we run a variety of different programs for young people that are all focused on mentoring, to put them on a path to be successful in life, to thrive and not just survive.
I was the first youth to be mentored by Victor.
Here is this young man that, I felt like I was his big brother, and I was going to do whatever I could do to help him move forward in life.
It was always my desire to someday see how far this thing could really go. Between 2,000 and 3,000 young men that have had their lives directly impacted positively by Running Rebels.
That is what is so wonderful about Running Rebels, about Dell, about Victor, about the whole story, is the ability to hold and care for one another in a way that spans one's entire lifetime.
It's turned out to be quite an undertaking, but it's the most rewarding work I've ever done.
Dale was an individual who kind of brainwashed us to the point where we didn't have no choice but to be leaders.
Brandon Joseph, he turned out to be one of the best kids that I've ever met. He's just a great guy, great personality.
In 2017, I had the honor of winning the Coach of the Year. And I remember saying to him, he said, you did it, you did it. I said, no, Dale, we did it.
He told the audience that he wouldn't be there had it not been for A, his mom, and B, his mentor, Dale Williams, which really meant the world to me.
We the original two. We've been with Dale from the beginning. Like, we was his first two.
I wouldn't say it's like family. This is my family. Like Dale is like a father figure to me.
They do the things that I've done, and they do it better than I was able to do it.
It's a strong bond. Like at some point, we both lived with Dale at some point.
Yeah.
And we love you.
Secretly, I always wanted to fly. That's something that I didn't tell a lot of people because in my neighborhood, there weren't a lot of pilots. And so I joined the Air Force. And in doing so, I realized a lot of dreams. I traveled a lot and was active duty here in Milwaukee, which meant I got to help the Running Rebels and be in the military, which was two of the things that I love the most.
I think what drives Del and what his purpose is his ability to connect with other people.
Milwaukee needs to know that Del's path and contribution to this community is something that anybody can do.
If there's one lesson I could take from my uncle, it's that family doesn't necessarily mean blood. You know, you can find family and fellowship with any person that you can relate to.
Everything he does is with compassion, it's with love, and it's with work ethic. And that's what Dale Williams means to me, and that's what he means to Milwaukee.
It's tougher to quit on a friend than it is to quit on yourself. And so you might give yourself permission to stop doing something because you're tired, but you look to your right or you look to your left, and there's your brother depending on you. That brotherhood really draws it out of men to make them not give up in times that they would give up if it was just them.
Now we know Del has had a huge impact on people in Milwaukee, and we know there are many more amazing people out there. And that's why we want you to nominate them for a Positively Milwaukee Award. We have 7 categories to choose from. It's very easy to nominate someone. You can only do so online. Just go to tmj4.com/awards. The nomination period is open for 2 more weeks. I'll be right back with my quote of the week. Welcome back. Each week I love to leave you with an inspirational message, and this week's quote is a little longer, but it is worth it. It comes from motivational speaker Amy Weatherly. Her words, "Some people could be given an entire field of roses and only see the thorns in it. Others could be given a single weed and only see the wildflower in it. Perception is a key component to gratitude, and gratitude a key component to joy." Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great week. Stay safe. And don't forget, be good to one another and stay positively Milwaukee.